Mga igala, kumusta? Napunta niya itong tulumanon Panglantaw sa Kagabhion. Murag kubag atong mata, no? Katulog ko gamay. Atong isgutan karon kining bahin ni KIAN de Los Santos nga ang ubang mga netizen sa Facebook ilan ang gihimong santo, no? Ilan ang gihimong santo si KIAN de Los Santos. Atong victim bitaw sa war on drugs. Mo na atong kalingawag hisgot karong gabhion na mga igsoon. Pero sa dili pa nato sugdan ato sang i-shout out ang mga likers og nag-heart sa ato ang tulumanon atong yaging sa gabi. Kumikan kay gabi nag-repost lang ko sa ako ang live video kung gi-repost, no, recorded kay na busy kay ning igsoon. So karon patan habalik og live. Itong i-shout out Lilian Martinez Tubigon, siyempre number 1 yan na liker nato, no? Si Ate Juvie Impalmado ato ang supervisor, si Fi Alona Flores, Cheryl Tubigon Ribuya, Juhaira Muhammad Bayabaw. So itong kailan nga school head diha sa Pagadian City Division, Juhaira Muhammad Bayabaw. Ma'am Ini Bunghawan, Pastor Yong Munlyon Kagangay Jr., Arturo Tubigon Jr., Willie Dahirok, Jess Batwigas, ako aning suki dias Pagadian City nang magpa-limpyo ko sa kiyanan si Jess Batwigas, si Raymond Rob Alga o si Vito Vlogs o Vito Martinez, no? Hanggang salamat sa inyong pag-like o pag-support sa ato ang program Matagabi Panglantaw sa Kagabhion. So tonight, I ask you to slow down. Not to scroll faster. Not to react immediately. But to listen carefully. Because what we are about to talk about is not just a trend. Not just a viral phrase, and certainly not just another social media moment. Tonight, we talk about San KIAN. Ilan ang gihimong santo, no? San KIAN sa mga netizen. At first glance, it sounds unusual. Some find it creative. Some find it uncomfortable. Some find it deeply emotional. The name San KIAN, now trending on social media, refers to KIAN de Los Santos, a 17-year-old boy whose death became one of the most painful symbols of the country's war against illegal drugs. But let us be clear from the very beginning. This is not about canonizing a person. This is not about marking religion. This is not about replacing faith with internet culture. This is about memory. This is about conscience. This is about a nation still wrestling with a question. What does justice really look like? Ang San KIAN dili santo sa simbahan, kundili samad sa konsensya sa nason. Many citizens call KIAN a patron of justice, not because they believe that he performed miracles, but because his story refuses to disappear. It keeps returning, especially when conversations about abuse of power, police accountability, and the value of human life resurface. And that, my friends, is the power of memory. KIAN de Los Santos was not a myth. He was not a symbol at first. He was a teenager, a student, a son, a boy who should have been worrying about homework, friends, and dreams, not about death. His liking shocked the nation because it forced us to confront a painful truth. When systems fail, the innocent suffer first. The Bible speaks strongly about this. Proverbs chapter 17 verse 15 says, acquitting the guilty and condemning the innocent, both are detestable to the Lord. Justice according to Scripture is not selective. It does not protect the powerful while crushing the weak. Now, let us address the discomfort. Some people ask, isn't it wrong to call him San KIAN? Others say, why turn a tragedy into a meme or symbol? These are valid questions, and they deserve thoughtful answers, not angry responses. For many netizens, San KIAN is not worship. It is a protest language. It is a way of saying, we remember. We have not forgotten. We refuse to normalize injustice. Sa ato pa, kung dili makapaminaw ang gahom, ang katawhan mangita og laing paagi sa pagpahinumdom. But this also challenges us to be careful. When memory turns into mockery, we lose respect. When symbols turns into weapons, we lose meaning. And when justice becomes just another hashtag, we risk forgetting the human story behind it. This is where balance is needed. We must acknowledge that KIAN's death represents a failure. Yes, but it does not mean every law enforcer is evil. It does not mean justice has no place in fighting crime. And it does not mean that the desire for peace and order is wrong. What it means is this: there must always be accountability. Justice without accountability becomes abuse. Power without restraint becomes violence. Authority without conscience becomes dangerous. Romans chapter 13 tells us that authority is meant to uphold good and restrain evil. But when authority itself becomes the source of fear, something has gone terribly wrong. Daghan kaayo karon ang nahadlok mo sulti. Kay basin tawagon dayon og kontra o traidor. But silence has consequences too. The San KIAN trend reminds us that unresolved injustice does not fade. It transforms. It finds new language. It finds new platforms. It finds new voices. From serious discussions by public figures to creative expression by content creators, the message is consistent. The Filipino people are still asking for truth and accountability. Not revenge, not chaos, but truth. Micah chapter 6 verse 8 tells us plainly what the Lord requires: to act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. Justice without mercy becomes cruelty. Mercy without justice becomes tolerance of wrongdoing. Humility keeps both in check. This conversation also forces us to examine how we remember victims. Do we honor them by demanding better systems? Or do we exploit their stories for attention? The difference matters. Ang tinuod nga paghinumdom dili para sa kasaba, kundi para sa kausaban. KIAN stories should not divide us into camps of hatred. It should unite us in demanding that no child, no poor family, no powerless citizen becomes collateral damage again. Justice does not mean weakening the law. Justice means strengthening it fairly. Justice means due process. Justice means evidence over impulse. Justice means that even in the fight against crime, human dignity remains sacred. Psalm chapter 82 verse 3 commands us to defend the weak and the fatherless. That includes children like KIAN, children who had no chance to defend themselves. Tonight, let us resist extremes. Let us resist the urge to glorify violence. Let us resist the urge to demonize entire institutions. Let us resist the urge to turn pain into spectacle. Instead, let us choose the harder path, reflection. Reflection asks difficult questions. Reflection demands reform. Reflection insists that justice must work for everyone, not just the powerful. The San KIAN trend may fade from timelines, but the question it raises must not fade from our conscience. Are we building a country where the innocents are protected or one where they are expendable? Sa katapusan ang tinuod nga hustisya, dili kinahanglan og estatwa o titulo. Kinahanglan kini og kasing-kasing nga sensitibo. Balaod nga patas ug liderato nga mapainobsanon. KIAN de los Santos should not be remembered as a symbol of death, but as a warning, a reminder, and a challenge. A warning of what happens when power forgets humanity. A reminder that justice delayed is justice denied. A challenge for us to demand better without losing compassion. This is not about saints or santos. This is about standards. This is not about trends. This is about truth. And we truly honor the memory of KIAN. We do so not by hashtags alone, but by building a nation where no family has to mourn the same way again. Daghang salamat og padayon ta sa matinud-anon nga pagtan-aw sa atong kaugalingon isip o sa kanason. Kini ang panglantaw sa Kagabhion, din ang kahayag nagadanag bisan pa sa kangit-ngit. Kini inyong igsoon higala og alagad Jeremias Labaho Tubigon Sa makausap pa mo ingon, nga sa atong pagpangandoy ug matarong nga katilingban, ang kamatuoran gayud ang atong suga. Ug sa kangit-ngit sa kasaysayan, ang tinud-anay nga pamunuan, ang labing hayag nga paglaom. Daghang salamat pag-usab, ug ang Dios magapanalangin, ug magapanalangin, ug magapanalangin kanatong tanan. Maayong gabi.